Hello, hello, Marty Braden here. I'm reporting on day 29. It is Thursday night before I turn in. So today was a great day. I owned the entire day and therefore I was able to choose what I wanted to do with it. I chose not to be distracted. I chose to get after my tasks. And so I wasn't distracted. I'm very satisfied with what I got done today. For example, here's my list of to-dos. There's several things here that I got done. You can see this yellow Thursday notes. I started through one. I'm going to do it here. Done! Got them done. Love it. If I remember right, my power statement for today said I have a bunch of notes, ideas, and short lists, and there's even some items that are on my back burner list to do. And so that's a whole bunch of mini tasks that I wanted to get done and that I need to get done. But I'm organizing them all now so I can start checking each piece off one at a time. So it's one long list. I can go check, check, check as I bring them to the portal of my mind into the world of the physical. And so here's that list. I'm going to start right here. Here was one, on-ramping a new client, and I got it on the list. Here it is right there, done. Here's the next one about thoughts on coaching one-liners. It says one-liners up there. And I got that done and listed out, so I know exactly what I'm doing there. And then I got this one here that says start a business note, which had a few things that came to my head from the Amigos. Got it down on the list. And I started to put those questions in there. And I have, of course, 44 pages here of how to start a business in your home. And so I'm going to take those. It's now on that list. Bam! Done. I've got that list. It's all together now as a list as it continues on. So I'm quite excited about that. So, as you can see, they're all basic subtitles lists, and they each have different tasks on them, but it's part of a bigger picture. And so it's made up of one long list of pieces now that I now can check off one piece at a time so that they land in my world of the physical. The next thing I want to show you are these pieces that have already come through the portal of my mind into the world of the physical just today. So I'm going to show you a little video. Hopefully I can do it right. Yeah, let me turn it. There we go. You can see what it's doing. Yeah. Oh, look at that beautiful picture. There's lesson 2. And now lesson 3. Or lesson 2 on what the week's deals are going to be. Then lesson 3 for the starting video lesson. And then the 4 things that happen during the week. The Q&A call and that kind of thing. Look at this picture, lesson 4. Oh, so cool, so fun. There it is, the 4 things going to happen during that lessons week. And there's some more that goes on to lesson 5, lesson 6, and I'm still doing those. But that's how it's kind of formulating out and how it's happening. Then it's going to go on here in just a second. So I find it. There we go. There's the website. Now you see lesson 1 here that I'm going to zoom in on right there. And you go over to lesson 2. Oh, that's such a beautiful picture. And then lesson 3 right there. And then it slides over to lesson 4. There's going to be either 8 or 16 of these that's going to be part of that package of coaching. I'm so excited, and it's right there forming up on a picture of a storyboard of what the website's going to look like. So that's quite exciting. Now I want to show you this. I had of this, and there's several pages I have of Amigos, the list of assignments that I give them. Bam, done. So I've got it listed. It gives me a chance to quickly write them down, then I can retype them. But those are the 3 or 4 that I'm going to give tonight to my Amigos to get out and get searching and bringing support material to help me just keep on going. Things that I might even not think about, going into that vibrational mind out there of the universe and help me get a much more powerful, more effective achievement of my goals. So I'm quite excited about that. So the next thing is to read Croy's checklist of questions and go through them so I can end my day strong today. The first one is, what didn't go well today? Or what could I have done better today, Marty? Did you wake up and start early and strong? Yes, I did. Did you start your morning with power? We talked about that last night. Next, were you productive throughout your day today? Did you get the most important things done at least? I sure did, and I was. Did you move your goals forward? Well, you just saw it in living color. Absolutely. Did you show up as the person you wanted to be today? Yes, I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. What about your personal time with Kathleen? Wonderful. It was terrific. Were you present and loving while you were with her? I absolutely was. Like I've been saying for several nights now, these questions are designed in such a way as to help me get honest with myself as I reflect on my day. Croy asked this whole thing in another way here. He says this: what was the one thing that you can improve on, Marty? In other words, what didn't go well today? So get honest. And so there was one thing that happened today that I want to talk about and mention briefly. First, let me say that I didn't think I could have done anything about it that I'm going to talk about and to keep it from happening, but it does bring up a great principle I wanted to talk about, and it made me stop and think today. I had an important meeting I had scheduled for today at around 3 p.m., and so around 2:45 I went downstairs, left my office, went downstairs to get my keys and head out to the meeting. I was always the one who wanted to be there if I could, 10 minutes early, so I can be respectful to who putting on the meeting and not miss anything. And if I get a flat or something, I hopefully don't have anything like that happen, but I want to be on time, and the way to do that is be early. Well, I went to where I always leave my keys. I have a long set habit that I leave them in a little bowl on a shelf for years. That's where it is, so I can always count on it being there, and that way I don't have to worry and guess, where did I leave it here? Did I leave it there? And did I leave it there? It's just such a frustration if you ever lose your keys that way. Well, my habit keeps me from experiencing lost keys. Well, I didn't know what happened, but today that is exactly what happened. The keys were gone. My goodness, my keys weren't there in their usual place, and I started to panic a little bit. I spent the next 50 minutes looking for my keys everywhere, in all the pants, hung up on the closet, in the shirt pockets, one in the dirty clothes, one in the trash, one in the bathroom. Maybe they dropped down. I looked and looked and looked for 50 minutes until I finally decided to call my wife and ask her if she could look in her purse and see if she took them by accident. Before I called her, I went through my conversation in my mind with her so I could choose to be the kind of person I wanted to show up and not be judgmental when I called her. So Kathleen said she emptied her purse and didn't have them. Oh, geez. Then she said, wait a minute. I just had a call from Zed, that's our son, and he said he left keys in the front door lock. I thought he was talking about maybe our Airbnb keys, but maybe it's your keys. Go look. And so, sure enough, I went to the front door and ding, out the door. They were in the lock of the door between the screen and the main door, and it fell on the ground. Oh, man, what a relief. So that's not really a failure, but this kind of experience can set in motion all kinds of tests of how we want to show up and how I wanted to choose to think about circumstances like these. The something I usually reflect on is something I either didn't do well or that I failed at doing. But this experience was a great test and a lesson for me, and here's why. I think the one thing that will have the biggest impact or make the biggest difference in my daily experiences going forward, especially when I focus on getting my to-dos done, is this fact. There's all kinds of circumstances that can come up all day long, every day. And the key to it is how we handle them, and do we handle them correctly? And the correctly handling them lies in what I choose to think about them. So I'm going to get better at observing myself. Say, why am I reacting about that? Marty, did you just see how you acted? What's your thoughts as you're going through this? What's the thought that's causing those emotions or that feeling? Well, it's difficult circumstances as they come up, and so I try my best to see how I want to show up, and I think about each one, and did I show up the right way? And so I can decide how I can better choose those thoughts that will serve me better. Listen to that will serve me better. And then maybe just going with those thoughts that are reactionary and comparing them. I don't want to go with just a genuflect reaction that I do all the time, which is what I've always been used to in the past. I would usually just explode and come out, why'd you take my keys, Kat? And I don't even know that's what she did. And they usually result in a behavior that isn't how I want to show up. It's not who I really am. And they don't serve me well. So this little experience is, in a way, it's kind of a success failure in that I handle it right, but it made me think of all my other failures and things that I've done. And I've started to see that I'm surprised. I surprised myself by handling things the way I did today with the frustration that I was in at the moment. And I was able to control where my mind was. I couldn't control where the keys were, but I could control how I was going to approach Kathleen. The fact that I had the thought come to my mind and say, you need to calm down. Don't be accusing. Let's just think of a way. Oh, that's what I can do. I don't want you upset. I'm not accusing anything. but could you do me a favor? I have a real problem. That's setting the table. A quick set of the table on the call really changed everything. And I surprised myself that that came. And so what failure do I need to use as a tool for success today? I think this experience is something that could be, it could have really been disastrous for me had I not shown up the way I did, especially with my wife, and for my meeting that came after that, because of a delay that I had, and I was frustrated. My mind wasn't focused, and I probably was going to be late anyhow. I really do hope that this experience sinks into my memory, so that my ability to respond, that respond ability, it's called responsibility, I can do it in this way. And hope it sits deep in my mind and starts to become a habit. The next question is, what was my biggest success today? I think just describing what I just went through is my biggest success. In my past, I would have showed up very differently. I probably would have called my wife with some sense of accusation or tone in the way I posed the question, versus a loving approach where I said, and here's what I actually did today after thinking about it. I'm not accusing you, sweetheart. I just have to ask you a question because I'm in trouble. I can't find my keys. Could you check your purse to see if they might have accidentally been put into your purse this morning? Thank you. Well, I also didn't call my son after I found out what had happened, what he had done. I just decided that he didn't mean to cause the problem for me. That wasn't his intention. He just sometimes space cadet that way, and so I just let it go. That's an interesting thing, just letting it go and not wanting to punish somebody, some kind of a, I don't know what it is. Sometime in folks, we can never be wrong. That's kind of a narcissistic nature of sometimes. We can never be wrong, so we have to point fingers. It's hard to say this, but that's become a big change in me, and I'm so excited about the change. And I know my wife is, absolutely. I think the question, what movies did you watch in your mind today, and did you make time for them, is an important one. I did watch my pre-play of Why this morning. I think that had an effect on how I showed up today, and I'm so excited about it. And what I'm doing in the win the morning, win the day, and end the day's success routine, it's affecting who I am. It's making me change a lot faster than I ever anticipated. Now, the next question I'm supposed to ask myself is this: what was the one thing I did that made me feel successful? There were several things that combined together and left me feeling like I was a success. For one, my affirmations that I speak every morning. My affirmations include this affirmation, which I say, I am a kind and loving man. I've been saying that now for 30 days. I'm a kind and loving man. I'm a kind and loving man. I'm a kind and loving man. Having handled this situation today, my thoughts came and took over. It's so exciting. That affirmation of these affirmations are working. I actually showed up as a loving and kind man when I called my wife and towards my son. That's exciting to me, even in a challenging moment, which surprised me. The fact is, I do treat everyone with respect now, even when that kindness isn't reciprocated. I am a kind and loving man. So the next question is, how did I rate my day today? I gave myself and I gave the day a 9. The next question that Croy asks is this: if this was the only thing you get done tomorrow, but you'd still feel like a success, what would that one thing be that'd make you feel like a success? Put it into a power statement. So here it is for today. If I only get, it's tonight's for tomorrow morning. If I only get the remaining handwritten notes that I have and get them typed out and put on the coaching package, if that's all I get done today, that I've already started the typing but been put the final ones on there, I'd be ecstatic to have it all there. That way I can just go check, do that one, check, do that one, check, and just keep slowly doing. That page is done, check, check, having it all in one place. Achieving that big project. I'm achieving it. My dream is actually happening. Having that image of actually accomplishing my big goal, especially by the last day of this first month, when I see my video journal and look back at all the pieces that have come to the portal of my mind into the world of the physical, and they're here physically, and they're starting to come, bam, 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 check, check, check. It's just so exciting to me. It's incredible. And what I'm going to report tomorrow is going to be an exciting 31-day report. So I'm ecstatic. In fact, I'm almost surprised at all that I've been able to get done through the law of attraction and manifestation into the world of the physical. That's what's been happening. There's so much that I have got through the portal of my mind into the world of the physical in just 30 days, and tomorrow will be 31 days, one full month, which is the end of the day tomorrow. Bam! Done! Way to go, Marty! You are a successful man and you are a doer. Congratulations on a job well done today. Now in my dream strong, my day strong, I'm going to share what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the power of right thinking. I'm grateful for a loving wife who understands me and loves me even with my weaknesses. But she's seeing growth and she believes in possibilities about me too. But she's leaving me to control it. She can't control that. She just worries about her own thoughts, and hopefully by her own actions and loving attitudes, I'm going to change and come along. I'm grateful for forgiveness, and I'm grateful to be able to forgive. I'm grateful that I can turn failures like the things I've been talking about and the mistakes that I've made and will probably make in the future, that I can turn them into tools of success that benefit me. That's that upward progressing experience by doing the end of the day success routine, by reflecting back on failures, turn them into the tool of success. I'm grateful that I have far more successes than I do mistakes and failures. Far more successes. We don't need to think and dwell on the failures. We need to turn them into lemonade and go on and build up that constant reminder of the successes we are having. That means that our dreams are happening. I'm grateful that I have far more successes today than I did yesterday and then the day before that. My mistakes are getting smaller and smaller. So once again, I'm going to go to bed now with powerful thoughts in my mind and a few assignments, specific assignments that I've given to my two amigos for the night. They're going to work all night long. Like I said, they work 24/7. Day after day after day after day. They don't get a vacation. They don't get a quit. They just go after it and keep coming back with what I need. Support material, evidence that what I'm doing is real, it's honest, it's good, and it's happening. So until tomorrow night, sweet dreams, and I wish you continued success. Bye, everyone.